name is Andy. You may have heard of me. I'm the first disciple Jesus called. But today, I'm here to talk about my pointy-headed brother Pete. You see, today was one of those days when I was really glad that Pete is a part of our pack. Sure, there are days when you can see why Jesus called him the Rock, but other days, he's about as smart as a box of rocks. One day, he's telling Jesus he'll die for him. The next, he's denying him. 1 minute, he's cutting off ears and itching for a fight. The next, he's hiding in the corner. It's no wonder there are plenty of days when the gang calls Pete the disciple. But we all flip-flop like Pete, don't we? Kind of like a fish out of water. We hope that deep inside each one of us there's a fast and noble dolphin just yearning to break free. Or maybe a mighty whale that can rule the very sea. But when it comes down to it, when the seas get really rough, most of us are minnows who are really not so tough. We think we have teeth that can rip out injustice. We want to have jaws that can crush disbelief. Our spirits are willing to swim out to the deep. How are we flesh to make it past the reef? We long for the light, but still cling to the dark. Our souls can find no rest. The Lord is our light, in Him there is no dark. In Him our lives are blessed. We think we have teeth that can rip out injustice. We want to have jaws that can crush disbelief. Our spirits are willing to swim out to the deep. How are we flesh to make it past the reef? How are we flesh to make it past the reef? But today, I was really proud of Pete. He really rocked our boat. It's no wonder we were all over the news.
And finally, here are today's chariot racing results in this year's Caesars Cup. Roma United squeaked by the Barbarian Rovers by a score of 4-3. And the Carthaginian Wanderers mopped the Colosseum with the Corinthian Rangers by a score of 6-0. You have been watching the 10 o'clock news from the Roman Broadcasting Corporation with me, Maximus Flatus. And now, over to Augusta Wind, live from the Sea of Galilee, where a certain carpenter from Nazareth has been really stirring things up.
Thanks, Maximus. That carpenter's name is Jesus, and he's packing them in wherever he goes, drawing bigger crowds than Lady Gaga. Why? No matter what ails you, it seems you simply have to touch the hem of his coat to be cured.
Take up your bed and walk, he says to me, and for the first time in decades, I'm back on my feet. Yes, I know it's the Sabbath, and I'm not supposed to be carrying my bed mat, but frankly, my dear, I don't give a darn.
I used to be the nastiest bully on the playground, but he cast out my demons. Someone looks like they could use a hug.
Such a bunion I had on my big toe. gone in a flash once I touched his cloak.
Here's mud in your eye, he says to me. Was blind, but now I see. See these cheeks? Smooth as a Georgia peach, eh? But you should have seen them before Jesus crossed my path. I am talking leprosy, people. A complexion like the craters of the moon. And what did he ask in return for curing me? Just don't tell anybody. Oops.
Couldn't tell you what's going on there. Well, it seems that Jesus has left the stadium. He's gone up into the hills to pray for a while and sent his disciples back on their boat. But we can hear all about how he threw a picnic on the lake shore this afternoon for 5,000, which is 5 loaves and fishes, from one of his disciples. John, is it?
That's right, Augusta. But you can call me the disciple whom Jesus loved. I'm a former fisherman, and I know a fine kettle of fish when I see one. And trust me, there weren't enough guppies in that kid's basket to feed my cat. But somehow, nobody went hungry. It was a miracle.
And you, Thomas, what do you have to say about this fabulous feast?
Miracle schmiracle, Augusta. I have my doubts. There's always a convoy of food trucks following the Twitter feed and homing in on these flash mobs.
And what about the man himself, Augusta? Can we speak to Jesus?
Well, I'm sorry, Maximus. He has gone up into the hills to pray and sent his disciples back on their boat. And that gang of 12 is rowing across the Sea of Galilee to Gennesaret. But let's turn it over to RBC's Eye in the Sky, Altus Abbas.
I wish I could help you, Augusta, but we've been grounded by gale force winds over the Sea of Galilee. When last seen, the disciples' boat was swallowed by darkness, bobbing like a cork and lashed by mountainous waves.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point aboard this tiny ship.
One of the sons of thunder. No storm can get the best of me. Oh.
Put your hands in the air, guys. It's better than the twister at Elitch's.
What's a retired tax collector like me doing? Bailing a boat in the middle of a hurricane at 4 a.m. in the morning. Oh, I should have just listened to my mother and become a certified public accountant. I'm soaked to the bones and I'm green at the gills and... Oh! There's a ghost and it's walking across the water, coming to finish us off. Where's that Jesus when we need him? A ghost, it seems that we are toast. Our amazing day with Jesus just turned to the macabre. How did we get stuck out here while he's teaching to the mob? A ghost, the sin that we fear most. Oh, where is Jesus? Our boat is nearly sunk. How did we get stuck out here with these storms and ghosts and junk? Ghostly apparitions are thwarting our ambitions. Our time as disciples comes to its watery end. If only he were here, our best and truest friend. But all we see is rain and waves and one terrible, horrible, spectral, phantasmal, very, very terrifying ghost. But it wasn't a ghost. It was Jesus, walking on the water in the middle of the storm, coming to join us.
Hey, guys! Don't be afraid. It's me, Jesus.
Really? Jesus? It's me, Jesus. Your old pal, Pete. Okay, let me walk on water like you're doing, which would be so cool. If I could do that, then I'd really believe it was Jesus out there, not just some weird guy on jet skis.
Come out of the boat, Pete. Come walk on the water. It's fun.
Are you sure I can just step out of the boat?
Jump in, Pete. Trust me.
Pete, get on your feet, walk on water. Pete, get on your feet, walk on water. Okie dokie, just gonna walk on water. Whoa, this is totally awesome. I am walking on water. Wow! In the middle of a lake. A lake filled with very deep, very cold water, with really big waves and, Jesus save me, I'm sinking!
Did Jesus let Pete sink? Of course not. But why did Pete start to sink? Because he started to focus on all the scary stuff around him, and he took his eyes off Jesus. Now, you may think Pete looked pretty silly when he started to sink into the water, but I don't. I admire Pete for having the courage to get out of the boat. Sometimes, if you want to get closer to Jesus, you just have to get out of the boat and walk on water.